Welcome to L&H Industrial, honestly better mental fitness. I found mental fitness a few years ago, and it changed my life. It's changed my family's life. And now we're bringing it to all of L&H Industrial to put it out to the rest of the world. Thank you for joining us.
Travis, how does good mental fitness help with the problems of fear and change?
Okay. How does good mental fitness help with the fear of change?
Fear and change, those problems. You in the last episode, you had spoke to fear and change being the two biggest problems. And we're proponents of good mental fitness around here. So how does good mental fitness help as you take on fear and change?
In the physical realm, we'd say, how does being physically prepared help you for this challenge? And it is a base of strength. It is the resilience to face setbacks. It is stamina to continue. It is all of those things in there. And mental fitness, I'd say it's very similar in there. It might be working on courage. And I think we've probably talked about it before that courage to me is moving forward in the face of fear, not the absence of fear. And so it's courage to step out and live this life that you want to live. It's getting to the point where it's worth risking rejection, hurt, any of those things in there. Mental fitness is about resilience and training to be more resilient, to understand where your own self-worth comes from and where your own strengths and weaknesses are. And it might be previously, I felt shamed that I wasn't good at math or with numbers or fill in the blank with whatever it is, communication, talking, being extroverted. And you might find, well, actually, in learning and discovering about myself, I figured out that that's just not the way I operate. And mental fitness might be becoming aware of emotions. And we talk a lot about emotions and what they are, and thoughts and what they are, and different physiological states and what they are, and different temperaments, different types of people, different unique abilities. And so maybe you were the introvert in a family of extroverts. And so you always just saw it as I'm the one that sucks at this, right? But really, all along, you had this secret superpower that was just different than the other people in your life. And through mental fitness training and becoming awareness and mindfulness and diving into all these other topics, you realize that, oh, right, this thing that I thought was my weakness is actually my superpower, right? I see that a lot, actually. And it's really interesting because almost all of our myths and stories and like superhero stories, like this great tragedy that happens and this horrible thing that happens to them ends up being like the thing that makes them the superhero that they are. And I often actually see that in our in the work that we do in here. Like the things that you look at yourself of being good at or not good at, I would say they're probably gifts that you just do not yet understand. And so how does mental fitness help towards this resistance of fear and resistance to change? I think it helps you understand yourself. It gives you a new perspective of life. It helps equip you for the challenges. It's not to say that you become mentally fit and then everything's great, right? Absolutely not. Like you become mentally fit and now you are prepared to take on challenges. And Mike mentioned resilience. People take on big challenges or try to make change, and then they run into a wall. They say, yep, see, I couldn't do it. Right. I'm an idiot. I should have just stayed in bed, or I shouldn't have done this, or now I'm so embarrassed, or whatever it is. And then they go back and quit. Right? Where some people run into that wall and they're like, oh, wow, this is going to be a tough wall. How do I do this? Like, how do I overcome this? It's almost a bit of the question of like, why versus what now? It's like, why did I fail? Oh, I failed because I'm a failure and because I'm not good at this, so I should go back, versus, okay, I tried that. I didn't succeed. What now? I wonder if there's a different way I can get over it. I think part of the mental fitness is the understanding of yourself, understanding of other people, understanding of your own physiology, neurology, understanding like the deep things that make you you. And when you do that, when you harness that, you become a new human being. One of the greatest things that I get to hear at the end of the working with people at times is like, I feel more like me than I ever have in my whole life. And I'm so excited to be me. And this thing that we used to like beat ourselves up for, we now realize is actually one of our strengths. I didn't like going out to, extroversion versus introversion, right? Like I didn't like going to parties and going to this and talking all the time. And right. And we see it as a weakness because that's the lens that we're looking at. But what we didn't notice is I can study a topic for 7 days in a row in a library and lock myself in and learn 6 months of material in 7 days because I'm so fed by this thing, right? And we were just looking at it from the wrong perspective. And sometimes it goes the opposite direction. Uh, I'll actually bring in resilience in this because resilience, we're talking about it as a strength, and it can also be a weakness when overdone as well. I was teaching at this one place, and every day we started at 9 o'clock, and every day at 9:05, like a jackhammer went off next door. And it was like, gosh. And then like 2 days into it, I'm like, man, when are they going to be done? Like I go outside to see when they're done. And I look around and I don't see any construction going on anywhere. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I hear the noise, and the noise isn't coming from my neighbor. It's coming from the house. And I look up, and it's a metal chimney. And there's a woodpecker trying to pound its way through the metal chimney to make a home. And the thought occurred to me of like, wow, that is one resilient, tenacious woodpecker. And what a gift that can be until we're a woodpecker feeding her head into a metal grate, wearing down our beak to which we will never get through. And there almost is no good things and bad things, right? It's just this continuous perspective in here. And so I see that, like I see every weakness as a strength, and every strength can be a weakness. And it's all just how it's applied, and it's how what we embrace and where our natural ability is in there. So how can mental fitness training prepare us to take on challenges, fears, and change? I think it's I have this image of like Batman going through his training to be equipped for whatever challenge he is going through. Like that's what it is, right? It's preparing ourselves. It's analyzing and assessing our strengths and weaknesses, and then working on them until we are at a level that we feel capable, competent, and confident to take on whatever life's challenges throw our way.